Welcome to my channel. If you're a returning listener today, thank you for your continued support. If you're new, I'm Deanna with Divine Destiny. I'm an awakened empath, and I share my passion of oracle messages for sensitives, for light workers, for way showers, anybody that tunes in for encouragement. I am also very interested and drawn to astrology, so I like to integrate that also in my sharing. So if you're new today, my whole purpose is to leave you feeling more encouraged than when you first came in. So thank you for being here with me. And if it does resonate, please do hit the like button, share it, and hit the bell for notifications so you know when I have new content coming out. And thank you so much. I am coming to you guys on the winter solstice for the northern hemisphere solstice period. And in the southern hemisphere it is also the solstice, but in the northern hemisphere, the longest dark season, the longest dark evening. In the southern hemisphere, it's the longest daylight. So symbolically, I love to learn about more depth and substance of symbolism, and throughout my journey of awakening, I've realized the significance of that. And so to me, I was reflecting on, wow, the solstice, just the balance and the harmony of dark and light. We can take that throughout our whole journey within us, on the outside of us, with seasons, and we're in Capricorn season now, and so really getting back in tune with our natural rhythms and also our Mother Gaia's rhythms, the universe, the sun. I think it's magnificent with the seasons. Everything is so much deeper than you may or I may have possibly realized before you step out of that threshold of going on the programs and being in the matrix, right? And so the symbolism to me is beautiful. The sun and the moon, the masculine, the feminine, the dark, the light, facing your fears. And I really do believe the symbolic meaning of all things, if we take it and look at the bigger perspective, is just beautiful. I want to touch on the eclipse season because this is super important. This eclipse that's coming up on the 26th at 12:13 a.m. for Eastern Standard Time. This is the solar eclipse, right? So we're eclipsing. It's representative of the solar, the sun, the masculine. And then on January 10th, we have the lunar, we have the feminine, we have the opposite sign. We have the sun, the solar eclipse in Capricorn, representative of the sun. Then we have the lunar eclipse coming up on January 10th in the female, the emotions, the two polar opposites. It's super beautiful, huge, magnificent time energetically for everybody, whether you're awake or not. It's happening. And so we can really utilize these things, as above, so below, within us, to utilize the best of what we can as our soul's evolution. And so we've been in the pre-eclipse season since about December 12th. And there's a pre-eclipse, the eclipse itself, and then the post-eclipse. It's just like anything of the ebbs and flows within us. It's also the influence that the cosmos and the endless, connection that we have. So another huge thing is that we're ending a decade, right? And going into 2020. And a lot of people and a lot of buzz to talk about, the Saturn-Pluto conjunct. And it's all so interconnected, just as we are with nature, as within us, in the northern hemisphere being December and winter, the solstice today, inner. Each season is so symbolic of where we should be. And so a lot of reflection coming up with these eclipses. Capricorn, you know, the solar eclipse. How are we doing? Checking in with ourselves. During these periods of pre-eclipse, I wrote a few notes to myself. We are in a process of inner reflection of what has been limiting us. Where have we limited ourselves? Are we still carrying limited beliefs within ourselves? It's a great time to release that between these two eclipses, the solar and the lunar. From now, present time, through January 10th, few weeks after that. So just keep that in mind. It's a wonderful time to internalize in your heart space, going, what no longer works for me? What no longer fuels my passion? And reflect upon what we need to change in order to live our authenticity and to be empowered instead of giving our power away. It's a beautiful time to self-reflect upon that. What is it in our life that's been repetitive? What is it that we still are triggered by? Old hurts and old childhood wounds. A wonderful time, symbolically, so supported right now, to eclipse these things out of our life so that we can start new, you know. And it's huge and important to do so. We have the support for that right now. And so pay attention to the visions that come within you right now. Utilize the importance of how to use your imagination, your intuition. I feel, going into the age of Aquarius, utilizing, I've said this many times on my channel, the importance of getting in the heart space and intuition being our first language, right? And so this is a wonderful time, this pre-eclipse doorway, gateway, so to speak, right, symbolically, to really reflect on those things. Question the things that arise within you and take action and do something about it. Process, declutter, right? Within you, declutter. In your physical dwelling, declutter. Get rid of things that no longer serve for you, maybe things that don't make you spark passion within you more or be inspired. And this includes the people in our life. Who are we currently out of alignment with and with our core values? It's really a time of community, tribal, rebuilding structures with it, Capricorn, huge, going into 2020. This is going to be all the way through in towards the planet's starting to go into age of Aquarius, you know, and right in through 2020 is still a decluttering, rebuilding our foundations, because it is for this solar eclipse on Thursday, one day after Christmas time. I mean, the moon already moves into Capricorn the day before, and the sun's already there. That's what a new moon is, and it's an eclipse. It's the solar eclipse. So that's structures, that's foundations, that's Gaia. It's our body, it's our roots. So there may be a lot of shift shaping for a lot of people right now, and hopefully you're already on this purging and decluttering, because if you haven't been, 2020 is going to get more and more challenging and as time goes by, because 2020 is still going to be a lot of shift shaping for all of us, no matter if you're awake or not, rebuilding structures that haven't been serving not only in your personal life but also in the collective, right? Anything that has not been strongly built on the heart space and authenticity and integrity and transparency, it's gonna really struggle to stay alive. And so with Pluto conjunct Saturn, that's about death and rebirth. And that's to be looked at as in something to support us on our evolution, not only as an individual, but as a collective, as the whole, because we are all one. So, what else? Look at any obstacles that are challenges holding you back on fulfilling your life purpose. Finding first of all, if you haven't, what your soul's purpose is, what makes you tick and come alive. And that's what this channel is to me. Encouraging sensitives to step into their authenticity. Really inner dialogue, fall here in the northern hemisphere, excuse me, winter. So that inner time to reflect and think about those things, right? A lot of us are decluttering. We may have residual things coming up that we've worked on through 2019 and prior that need to be like tilled up, weeded out, and say goodbye to it. Say goodbye to it with love, in a love space, and really just do your very best to clean up your act, inside, outside, all of it. Don't wait for these eclipses. We're already in the energy of it to come. Start now. If you haven't, let me encourage you to do so. If you have not started doing your inner work that includes your action, who you surround yourself with, expect these eclipses to really initiate a force pushing you into it, because raw change is huge. In order for us all to be rebuilding new structures, North Node in Cancer, where we want to head, fundamental, that being a water sign, feminine, ruled by the moon, really processing these emotions and heading into more of a space where we want our family unions, we want our circles to be of substance, to be sustaining, and that is in love space, that is in authenticity, that is in transparency. It's really just a beautiful time if you've been on the path and you've been doing your work. If you've been ignoring those things, hiding them, so to speak, under the rug, even within your own emotions, Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, the dark, the under the rug type of things, not meaning it isn't a bad thing, but just brushing them under the rug. Saturn-Pluto conjunct is also going to be like, no more, because Saturn, the great teacher, if we've been on our path doing our work, truly being authentic, you'll get accolades. And as we go through all of these collective shifts and changes that we're all going to experience, every one of us, whether you've been on the path or choose to not be yet, 2020, the third density and all of the competition and the lack and feeling separate and compartmentalizing, all of that needs to fall away in order for the substance of the new to come in. And so this is just a really beautiful, very powerful time. And all throughout history, the symbolism of solstice, you know, and the symbolic meanings of that, all of these beautiful different traditions that honored the seasons, that honored each, you know, changing and ebbs and flows of time, were so beautiful. And unfortunately, from prior generations, we're going to be unraveling all the things of Christianity that snuffed that, and that wanted us to give our power to somebody that's outside of us instead of within us. And I'm not bashing anybody, it is what it is. But we light workers, us way showers that are awake and in the heart space now, that have been rebuilding our structure, so to speak, are at the forefront of this, trying to pave the way for new. And in order for the new to come in, the old has to die. So gaining your spiritual muscles is super, to me, super important. Because with the two eyes, the things that we see dying, falling away, being uprooted, right? All of the stuff of the underworld, Pluto, hidden in the recesses, you know, just think about it, even in our subconscious, has to be brought to the light. And going into the age of Aquarius and just the more heart-centered and building tribe and community that's sustainable by the things that actually matter, which is of love and compassion. And I think it's a beautiful, beautiful time to utilize that. If you haven't done that, let me be your encourager. Let me be your little coach going, let's do this, you know. Face the things that are hard to face. The truth, the way is always in your heart. And so I think it's just a beautiful, powerful time. And it's not to say that we don't have things come up that are not challenging, because we do, right? And that's okay. Sit with it all. Sit with the dark. Sit with the light. All within you. And also above, and being supported for authenticity. Anything else I want to say on that? No. Cardinal signs. Well, Capricorn. This solar eclipse is in Capricorn. Cardinal signs are initiators. They're the start of the seasons. So they're the leaders. So this to me is a huge initiation time for everybody. And this goes for everyone, because we have all four elements within us. And somewhere in your birth natal chart you have that initiator, you know. And so it's a huge, beautiful time to declutter, to purge, to get rid of things symbolically, right? If you're still around people even that are not in resonance with you, and this isn't to say that we have to agree, because no two people are going to agree on everything. This is soul resonance I'm talking about. This is about in the love space, because we can have all kinds of disagreements in the egoic thinking, and that's fine. But where you want to be sitting is where people are lifting you up. That's what community and tribe is all about. It's about the tribal celebrations of honoring each other right where they're at. And that to me is the most beautiful gift that you can give yourself, is to be authentically surrounded by that. And a lot of us through 2019 have said goodbye to people, things that just were not in resonance with us anymore. And that's great. Eventually everybody will get on board. But this is a time of really rebuilding structures, and so to me we're at the beginning of this. I want to do the oracle for all of us to inspire us for this eclipse season, and I just so happen to be coming to you on winter solstice in the northern hemisphere today. We're going to start out with the Mystical Shaman by Colette Baron Reed. Dear Spirit, I am here, I am ready, and I'm open to receive your guidance. I give thanks in advance for the messages, for anybody that tunes in to listen today. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. So what is it, Spirit, that all of us Okay guys, let's do this. From the Mystical Shaman Oracle. First card we got is card number 8, the circle. See how we have the center, the circle, complete, infinite. We have the handprints all the way around the circle. This is a reminder that we are all connected. Number 8 is a manifestation in abundance, but this is not just in monetary and earthly. This is infinite. This is health. This is creation itself. It's really asking us to remember that we're all connected, and this does not mean putting up with egoic behavior that's not in the love space. I just have to remind everybody of that. This is remembering, holding our energy accountable. We're all connected, and when you do your work with yourself, it has an influence and a direct impact on the collective consciousness, and it's a super important time to everybody to be doing that. We want change, and a lot of us fight change. I don't know about you, but I definitely don't want to keep going on the path that mankind has set out before us, you know, hierarchy, not honoring everybody's belief systems, and, you know, the out of balance of even monetary. All needs should be met for all life. Creator created this planet, Mother Earth, to sustain us all, and there's no reason why the things should be so out of whack. The second message we got is the smoking mirror. To me, I'm going to read this one as well, but this is seeing through the illusion. To me, this is really sitting in that sacred space, realizing that what you see outside of you is also a reflection of what is within you. You know, like I'm talking about the support we have in the cosmos right now, that is also supportive for us on the inside, our soul's evolution. The smoky mirror represents the aspects of what is implied yet cannot be immediately known in the world. The mystery of how things come together and how they fall apart without obvious casualty. The symbol also represents the shadow of the human psyche. Hope you guys can see this okay. The parts of the self that one disowns. The smoky mirror can also represent a state of denial or the inability or refusal to see the truth. So that is very huge with what I was just talking about. Not ignoring what rises within you. If you're still settling, if you're still playing small to be a people pleaser to others, 2020 is going to be a huge struggle. I don't ever put fear into predictive, and I'm not predictive. This is guidance always for me. So just remember that you have to see beyond your own self. You have to acknowledge what comes and rises within you. So the last one we got is the wind, 63. This is a completion number. It's also, you know, air signs. That would be Gemini, Libra, what? I'm drawing a blank here. It's late at night. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, what's the other one? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I should know that. I forgot again. That's what my daughter is. So, 63, the wind. The symbol of the wind represents the element of air. It rules communication, thought, song, and inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities of both positive and negative. The wind blows from each of the 4 directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. The south carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits. The West calling you to move more introspection, to willingness to make final decisions, to let go of attachments. The North moving to bring you wisdom and strength. The East carrying clarity and vision and purpose. This is huge going into Age of Aquarius, because Aquarius is that air sign. It is a huge generational thing that we're going, obviously, into a huge time of major technology changes. But this is also, to me, not allowing to be disconnected, not to be up in the mind, right? Mercury and Gemini are... Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, and that thinking and that thoughts, and the wind, very representative of the air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So just make sure that you're wanting whichever way the wind blows for you. The message which the wind appears shouts, challenges must be faced. So release them. And if you're using this from a higher perspective, the winds of change can blow in newness. Also, with it being a card number 9, completion and ending of cycles. And that's huge right now. Coming to you on December, it's late at night now, so December 22nd, 23rd, the winter solstice. We're all up for raw change, and we're ending a cycle. We're in this season of Capricorn, which is about structure and practicality. We're in between the oh my, I don't know, excuse that. Unbelievable. My husband's phone ringing. Excuse me, we just got new phones, so I didn't even know that was on. So anyway, it's December. It's an end of a season. It's an end of a decade. A lot of change for a lot of people. And of course the buzz of Saturn-Pluto conjunct all through 2020, leaving the age of Pisces, going into the age of Aquarius, where it's more about community and communication, and where are we being supported? Have we rebuilt our structures of community? Knowing in the heart space that we're all connected, doesn't matter what color, what gender. Also, this does not mean putting up with behavior that is from the ego. And as an empath, I know you know when you're around people, is it of love or is it of the competition, lack? Remembering always the oneness that we have, that circle of life, all of us connected. This smoky mirror, you know, really the inner time right now, very symbolic of the Capricorn season in the northern hemisphere being in winter. The inner dialogue. Are you ignoring the things? Have you been brushing them away? Are you being in your authentic self? Huge time to make sure that you're doing that. Not looking out there in victim mode and blaming, but, you know, dealing with your own energy and holding your own energy accountable so that you can be in your authentic self. And the winds of change to me, and communication, and where we've been to where we're going, utilizing the support that we have to connect with others in a heart space. And this to me too, with 9 and completions, you know, some things are not meant to be in your life for a long time. Some things come in, just like the seasons, only for a short amount of time. Souls come together to learn some lessons, possibly, especially if it's karmic, and really allowing the wind of change to push you forward in a wonderful time going towards the age of Aquarius, all through 2020, rebuilding the structures with 4. I think that's a huge, huge thing. This is another thing to me, is using your things that you've been through, turning everything that you've been through into knowledge and communicating with that knowledge with others. Because soul tribes need to come together, and the more we come together, I'm a huge fan of circles and true ceremony, not acting like you're in ceremony, just doing a autopilot ritual, but sitting together in numbers where 2 or more are gathered is a huge, powerful thing. Don't ignore any of those smoking mirrors. Do not snuff anything that rises up within you. It's a wonderful time right now between these solstices to declutter. This is a huge reset with these eclipses. Be in your authentic selves. I so thank you for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed my YouTube channel. If you're new, please do like, subscribe, share. And I do want to put out there, I have a empath group on Facebook. It's called Divine Destiny and the Rise of Empaths. If you're interested, go ahead and answer the questions to join. I would love to see you there. It's really a huge, powerful time. Utilize the as above within to the best of your ability so that your soul can go into your passions and your soul's evolution going forward into the age of Aquarius. I send this to you guys with so much love, and namaste.